Welcome to the Comfortable in Chaos Podcast. Strangle your demons and let's go.
Y'all need Jesus!
Welcome back to the Comfortable in Chaos Podcast. I'm your host, Eric Hellberg, and we already know we have no special talents here. We're just passionately curious. Just like Einstein said, we're passionately curious about how the hell we got here and where it is that we are going. And we certainly know that we're not on this journey alone. And when we left off last time, we were talking about dads, man, fathers. Whether you have one, whether you had a bad one, whether you didn't have one, ultimately you become one. And man, you cannot carry whatever you carried along, maybe even to right now, all those years with you. Or else it's going to be passed on to your sons and daughters. And really to everyone around, your spouse. Until you get healed, those wounds just keep wounding. It's a whole other story that can be dissected in a million different ways. And I can tell you what, we are definitely going to do it. As a product of that, you grow up, it's almost like in a vacuum. You don't know who you are, where you belong. But something clicks in you. And Paul said it. All things to all people, so that I may win some. You can become likable. You can rely on the fact that you can ingratiate yourself to others. To a great degree. It doesn't matter who they are, what they are, where they are. And just in point of fact, if you have the time to sit and listen, to engage, you can get along with anyone. You're telling me that all these human beings on this planet don't have common needs? We all have common needs. Wants and all that other BS stuff, that's entirely different. But needs? Are you kidding me? We're all the same. It's so easy. It seems so hard for a lot of people. But you ingratiate yourself. So fast forward. I'm crawling up this stairwell, man. I found an open door. I was told they're up here. This building looks like a rundown, about 6, 7-story building out of Gotham City that's already been sacked. It's in Schaumburg, Illinois. I was sent to get this equipment from this group of Russian guys. Dude, I go round and round this stairwell, manually, walking up. I come out, I open this door, and it's almost like a vacuous warehouse, albeit we're up at the top. And this is crazy. All I see are these wires and these tables set up in the center with computer terminals. Well, damn! X marks the spot. Here's my Russian boys. 7 or 8 of them. All in tracksuits, 2 of them with their chests exposed, tattoo right in the middle. These are interesting birds of a different feather. What's even crazier, it's like a scene out of Taken. These guys are getting chopped along their shoulders and their neck and being massaged. Each one of these guys stationed directly behind him has a lady giving him a massage. All right, well, let's think about this. Who's in charge? One stands up, comes around the table. Now, we've got a big space in between us. I'm thinking 30 yards still. My mind starts spinning. I was just in Memphis last week. What worked with that group of gangsters across from Graceland isn't going to work with these guys. Totally different guys. Found out who the head guy was in Memphis. Before long, I had my arm around him. No knife, no gun, no nothing. We became pals. Everyone stood down. In fact, the person who I was getting equipment from in that apartment complex was literally held hostage as these guys gave me permission to move it out of there. Now, these guys, they're entirely different bears. In fact, they're Russian bears. And this guy's walking to me. Said a quick little prayer instantaneously, and I closed the gap. Using my peripheral vision, I'm still scanning, but I lock eyes on this big dude. Adidas tracksuit. Adidas wrestling shoes. I pick up my pace. We get to within about 3 feet of each other. He asks me, "Who the F are you?" He is now stopped. However, I did not. In fact, I moved forward. I got all up in his personal space. Or maybe 10 inches, foot away from each other. I'm like, "What's up, comrade?" He's looking at me like I'm absolutely nuts. Let's see if he's comfortable in the chaos that's boiling up inside of me as I try to remain composed. Said, "Hey, are you Vitaly? Victor, as they call him on the streets?" No, I'm not Victor." We get to talking. Ironically enough, I'd noticed those shoes. We get to talking like about Russian Sambo. So now it's kind of like Oleg Taktarov when he made his UFC debut. No one knew about it. And he certainly didn't expect me to know about it. We found some commonality. We start talking. Long story short, another piece of the puzzle. Was he Victor? Nope. Was he impressed that I had the balls to find him and get up there? Yes, and that's all that these guys needed. So, long story short, he ends up giving me Alexi's phone number. Alexi runs a yard in Roselle, a nearby community there in Illinois. 3 of my Volvo trucks, 18-wheelers were there, a couple of the trailers. There were some other broken down Volvos in adjacent shops. And this guy just needed to be pressed. He never expected anyone to find him. And once they did, was it me? I don't think so. Maybe. But he knew that others could too. Because everything is replicable. And he knew the game was up. But no one else was going to put together the pieces of the puzzle, keep inserting things inside that jigsaw to get to where this group was in this building and take the next step. And oftentimes that's the only thing you need to do. Was I comfortable in the chaos? In that experience, yes. I was comfortable in it even though I was not. So, did I ingratiate myself to this man? Absolutely not. We weren't looking to become buddies. I just needed to be cool under fire and look like I was willing to be his buddy. And in that regard, that was a gift. It's a well-honed gift. At the same time, that gift can also be a curse. It needs to be used well. Man, let's go deeper. Everyone has gifts. The Lord imbues you, every individual, with these unique gifts. And as long as you are demonstrating His attributes, those gifts will be accentuated. At the same time, and of course, depending on what you believe. The devil, on the other hand, now listen to these words, will allow these gifts to be exploited. And as men, We're really good at all of this. Now, would I have been as courageous, if you want to call it that, if I was that close to my wife and she's upset with me? I think not. And why? Why would that be? And moreover, if I'm so good at all these other things, why in the world would I need to even be in a disagreement with my wife? This is also very interesting. Or your kids. Or those you care about around you. So if you like this content, subscribe to the Comfortable in Chaos podcast. And we will explore this for sure next time. So for now, bon voyage, my burgeoning flock. And I will talk to you soon.
Until next time, like and subscribe to the Comfortable in Chaos podcast.